Next, it gives me great pleasure to present the Frederic and Lucy Kellogg Award. This award is presented annually to an individual or institution exemplifying the Kellogg sense of community responsibility and social awareness, and also embodies United Way's vision of a caring community. This year, we recognize Cathy Smith. Once again, we have a short video introduction.
United Way of Greater Waterbury is proud to present M. Catherine Smith with the Frederic and Lucy Kellogg Award. Highly respected throughout our community for her leadership in philanthropic projects, Cathy Smith has been a longtime supporter of the United Way of Greater Waterbury, actively engaged as a leadership donor and volunteer. Her efforts across our community continue to greatly benefit our region's quality of life and economy. As past chairman of the board of the Mattituck Museum, Cathy led a successful $8 million capital campaign for endowment. She was a leader in efforts to restore historic City Hall and served as chair of the Waterbury City Hall Rededication Committee. As president of the Fulton Park Conservancy, Cathy was responsible for the historic restoration of the warming hut, the renovated gardener's cottage, and the maintenance building. She is presently working on the restoration of the wading spray pool and fountains, as well as a project to clean and repair the waterways and aquifers in the park. She served on the Tiger Grant Advisory Committee, which played a key role in the successful application for a $14.4 million grant which will transform the Naugatuck River Corridor. As a member of the Waterbury Community Investment Group, Cathy has been instrumental in the restoration of Gaffney Place and the revitalization of the Hillside neighborhood. The United Way of Greater Waterbury is proud to present M. Catherine Smith with the Frederic and Lucy Kellogg Award.
Cathy is one of the most genuine, gracious, and thoughtful people you'll ever meet. She is always willing to step up to host events, including opening her unique barn for our strategic planning and donor receptions that always leave a lasting impression. During some very challenging times for our agencies, Cathy played a leadership role on a special United Way committee that launched a first-of-its-kind neighbor-to-neighbor campaign that raised and distributed over $100,000 to our struggling partner agencies. She has participated in our needs assessments, funder forums, and more. Over the years, she has served on many of our partner agency boards, providing strategic leadership at critical times. On behalf of the United Way Board and all of its partners, thank you. Cathy, please come forward and accept this. Congratulations. Okay.
Want me to hold that for you?
Yes, please. Wow, this is quite a turnout, and thank you all for coming, for supporting the United Way, and believing in our community. Congratulations to Stephanie Cummings and Kathleen LeBlanc for your innovative and successful reading programs and book programs. And congratulations to Molly Kellogg and the Kellogg family and the New James family for your successful company campaign. And thank you to the United Way for this meaningful award named for two people I deeply admire. Serving as a member on nonprofit boards, a member of private foundations, and as a partner in municipal initiatives, I've observed firsthand the United Way in action. Proven to be the most efficient and effective way to support and strengthen the safety net of health and human services. The United Way is essential to a strong community. The outreach of the United Way is everywhere. Education, housing, healthcare, childcare, and recreation. As a fiduciary of the Environmental Fund, the United Way was instrumental in the startup of the Greenway Project. And if it were not for the United Way environmental grant allocation, the Tiger Grant, $14 million Tiger Grant, would have never been realized. While I'm delighted to receive this recognition, I am more than eager to be afforded the opportunity to highlight the legacy of Fred and Lucy Kellogg, the namesakes of this honor. I'd met them, I did not know them well, but they were dear and highly respected friends of my mother-in-law and father-in-law. Many of you know Hal and Copey Smith. They often talked about Fess and Lucy and their great love of Waterbury. While I know that Copey and Lucy served on many committees together over the years, I sincerely wish I paid more attention to all of Copey's stories. As most people here know, Fess and Lucy were devoted to each other. They believed in a world where everyone had a chance to grow and to succeed, to pursue the American dream. And giving a hand up was natural to them. They instilled those values of giving and personal responsibility in their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. In the continuing contributions of each generation of the Kellogg family is a remarkable example of these values in action. Fred and Lucy were proud Waterburyans who demonstrated an abiding and unwavering commitment to contribute to the well-being of people and organizations. And there was no age when that responsibility ended. During World War II, while Fred served as a Navy lieutenant in the Pacific, Lucy would have dinner with her children at the dining room table at their home on Prospect Street. She had a telephone at her side, and she was working with the American Red Cross to coordinate travel arrangements for deployed soldiers to travel home for special needs, family events, and funerals. Lucy co-founded the Waterbury YWCA. When armed with 3,000 signatures, she stormed Washington to petition for a local chapter. She was a founder of the first daycare center in Waterbury and a founder of the Kendall House for alcoholic women. They were grassroots change agents. Lucy organized the YWCA thrift shop. She sold merchandise and set up maypoles. Fred painted rooms and set up equipment. They were a dynamic duo, always ready to swing into action. Fess often wore a golf tee behind his ear, and Lucy ran nonstop in her Ferragamos. When Lucy decided she no longer liked the nanny designation, she advised her great-grandchildren she wanted to be known as Gigi. The United Way named this award for Fred and Lucy because of their immeasurable contribution and impact to our community. This recognition was initially known as the Frederic R. Kellogg Award, and it was bestowed by the United Way on Lucy in 1995. And she said, and I quote, "We both believe very strongly in the community. The United Way, in my opinion, is the Waterbury lifeline. It's a lifeline of people, people who care, people who give, and people who work," end quote. We believe this because in our home, everything is the United Way or the Webster Way. The United Way provides the best and most efficient delivery of services and benefits to our constituents, and again, a true safety net of basic needs. As a convener and a collaborator, the United Way identifies partnerships and leverages resources to increase efficacy and to maximize outcomes. In addition to addressing basic needs, education, and income, the agency continues to improve and refine its methodology, metrics, and indicators to ensure its mission. The mission? To advance the common good, to enable everyone the opportunity to realize their potential. Fred and Lucy would be proud of the way our community has pulled together and held together through some very challenging times. By making sure the Hands Up is always available to those in need, the United Way has given Greater Waterbury critical and reliable support. The United Way cannot fulfill its mission without our participation. To keep Live United strong and proactive, it's incumbent upon us to rise to the challenge. The Kellogg legacy is a constant reminder of the responsibility to be there for those who need us. The looming deficit, the reduced funding at the federal and state levels, municipal requirements, and the reduced capacity of private foundations, all the while demand remains constant, increases the need for our support of our United Way. We need the United Way now more than ever. People helping people. Please consider the 3 T's when you think of the United Way: your time, your treasure, and your talent. The potential in this room is inestimable. Each and every one of us has the wherewithal to create influential and positive change in the lives of others. And the United Way gives us the means to do it and is worthy of significant personal investment. Our capacity to raise and distribute funds that stay right in this community is extraordinary. 20 years ago, Jim and I helped introduce the National Alexis de Tocqueville model to our Greater Waterbury United Way. The response was overwhelming. Who would have thought today there are almost 50 people, I think there's 48 actually, who contribute $10,000 or more annually to the United Way. So many of you do, and I ask all of you to consider your 3 T's when you consider the United Way. The memory of Fred and Lucy Kellogg burns bright through the continuous attention that this award brings to their legacy. It continues to advance the principles that they held dear. Thank you, and here's to Hands Up.
That was great. Thank you.